Hi, I'm Tracy Foster, and welcome to Soul Connections with Tracy Foster. I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to sit down and to watch a discussion about something that could possibly affect you in some kind of way, or to be stimulated and entertained, or encouraged or inspired. I hope that my channel brings those things to your life on a daily basis. So, without further ado, let me get one thing out the way. If you really enjoy this video, please subscribe to my channel, and not just subscribe, share, and hit the notifications button or bell so that whenever there is a new video uploaded to my channel, you will be among the first to know. Okay? All right. The purpose of my channel, and I think I stated it before in a previous video, is to just encourage and stimulate and to nurture and to help anyone that's watching have a better life. And when I say a better life, I don't mean a life filled with material riches or mansions and cars and things of that nature. What I mean by a better life, I mean a life where you are at peace, where you are calm, and where it doesn't matter what challenge or challenges you may be facing, you are able to face them with grace, with integrity, with strength, with loyalty, and with compassion. And that's what this channel is really about. It's about me, my soul, connecting with yours. And for some people, when you say soul to soul connection, a lot of people may say, well, what does that mean? Is that some type of voodoo, some type of witchcraft, or some type of universalistic uh, uh, code or something of another of that nature? But no, what it really means is that I am talking to you from the corners of my soul, that I'm speaking to you personally, because we are all going through something. We all face our challenges as human beings. There's none of us out here in this world today that is not facing something. And it doesn't matter exactly how much is in your bank account. We all have to face certain things. And what are those things that we have to face? The first thing that we have to face every day is our mortality. The next thing that we have to face as human beings is our health, because none of us are in perfect health. And there are some of us who believe that we're in perfect health only to find out one day that we are not. Okay? I have known people who have been in the best health and who have just dropped right there on the spot, because it shows us that our mortality is always into play. And that's why we have to live our lives in such a way where we are effectively conscious, conscious of the fact that we are only here for a short period of time. But living inside of that knowledge, we're able to live our best lives every day. And so that's the point of this channel, is to help you and to also help myself have a better, sustainable, productive life. And how do we do that? We do that by having conversations about life with one another, by asking questions about life with one another, by being challenged on certain ideologies and theories and the questions that life is made of. When we do that with each other, we are building bridges and we're building gardens of for a better existence and a better life. Do you believe that? Today's discussion that I would like to have with you is on how to move forward from toxic relationships. That's a subject that we all can sink our teeth into because I'm sure that you, like myself, have been involved or are involved in a toxic relationship, or we know someone personally that's been involved in a toxic relationship. How do you handle that? How do you get out of a toxic relationship? How do you move forward after leaving a toxic relationship? How do you do those things and do it successfully and in a manner in which you come out as a whole human being ready for the next stone in your path to unwind for you? First of all, let's define what I mean by a toxic relationship. Because just because you are in a situation, and it could be with your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your best friend, someone that you've known for years. It could be a parent, it could be a sibling, it could be a cousin, it could be an employer, it could be a person that you work with. We're as human beings, we all make the connections with other we all make connections with other human beings, and in within those connections we form relationships sometimes. So you have to ask yourself, okay, we define relationship, but what is a toxic relationship? Because we're all human, we're all imperfect, we're not robots. We don't do anything, we don't do everything perfectly, and we don't always say the right things at the right time. So what does it mean? Toxic toxic is something that's poisonous, something that travels through your spirit, and it just destroys everything good and positive about you. That's what toxic means. So when you think about a toxic relationship, you're saying that you're in a connection, or you have a connectivity with someone that literally destroys your spirit or your inner being. Just tears it completely down. You come home, perhaps your husband or your wife or your boyfriend or your girlfriend tears you down. You walk into an environment that's hostile, that's negative, where before you open the door, it's just pleasantries and green and blue skies and lollipops and beautiful smelling babies. And then as soon as you open the door, it's red, it's fire, it's just electric with negativity. And that type of energy from someone who is toxic, it permeates every corner of your life. It doesn't just it doesn't just hit you with in a minute sense. It hits and permeates every avenue that you inhabit. You go from being a person who is positive about a lot of things, And then what a toxic relationship does is that it rubs off on you. So the things that you were positive about, or the things that were important to you, no longer becomes important to you, or you now have a colored, distorted perception of them because the person that you are in a relationship with is toxic and has a negative spirit. And so that begins to rub off on you. It's contagious. Believe it or not, it's contagious. It rubs off on you. And so you enter a situation where the person that you were no longer exists, because that individual has snuffed out any type of positivity that you may have had previously. You're in a situation where now everything about you is negative and red. And a lot of times people don't see it that way. A lot of times people, when you're in the middle of a toxic relationship, you don't necessarily say or think, oh wow, this person is poisonous and this person is destroying me and breaking me down to the last molecule and what's happening. No, many times people who are in the middle of toxic relationships do not understand that they are in the middle of something that's detrimental and dangerous to their emotional, their physical, their spiritual well-being. You can be told that you're in a toxic relationship, but that doesn't mean that you're going to believe it because you're in the middle of it. So you have to gain this awareness, and this awareness takes place over time. What begins to happen is that the person that you truly are and that you've had to suppress because you're in the middle of a toxic relationship begins to bubble forth in cracks. And then you say, oh, he said what? That's not right. And I don't like it. Or she did what? I don't like that. How dare she sit back and tear down what I desire, what my passion is? Or you say, how dare he say that about something that I love and care about? So eventually you get to the point where that the toxic relationship has an effect on you, and you eventually realize that, hey, this is not right. This is not who I am. But when you get to that point, what do? How do you how do you move on in a toxic relationship? How do you get out of a toxic relationship? How do you forgive yourself? How do you do those things? Well, first of all, what you have to understand is that people, toxic people, are that way for a reason. It could be low self-esteem, low confidence, low self-confidence in how they feel about who they are as human beings. It could be some type of a childhood trauma that happened to them. It could be a past relationship that distorted the way they look at the world. It could stem from religiosity, being in a religion or coming from a cult that was primarily controlling and negative, and so their opinions or viewpoints about life is a little bit questionable. And these are some of the reasons why people can become toxic. It could be health. It could be a person was ill and find themselves facing challenges they never thought they faced before, and it can be very disconcerting. There are many reasons why some people are just have toxic negative energies. And when you are a person who's a good person, who is positive, who has a lot of energy, a lot of passion, toxic people are attracted to that energy and that passion because they don't have it within themselves, but they desire it for themselves. However, they don't know how to obtain it. They don't know how to manage it. They don't understand what to do with it once they have it within their grasp. So a toxic person will see you, they will love you, fall in love with you, they will be enthralled with you. But on the flip side of that, they're actually jealous of you and they are scared of you. Jealous how? How you mean, Tracy? Jealous that you have this freedom about yourself where you see life in a certain way. You still see the positivity of life. You still see the joy in life. You still want to fulfill your dreams. You still see the brighter side of humanity. And because a person who is toxic cannot see those things because their perception is distorted, they would love to feel the way you do. But they can't. So they become jealous. Then they become scared. Why? They become scared because they want to be like you, but they are afraid. Number two, they become scared because they believe that one day you are going to see the truth about them and that you will leave them behind. That is the reality of a toxic person, and that is the reality of a toxic relationship. So ask yourself, how does one find themselves in a toxic relationship? Because Tracy, you just said that toxic people are attracted to non-toxic people, to people who are positive, for people who have dreams and ambitions and goals and who see the brighter side of life, who are creative people. They want this for themselves, and that's why they are attracted to these type of people, which is us. But how does things turn so ugly? And how do we get out of a toxic relationship? I am going to discuss this subject further in part 2 of my video series on toxic relationships. If you enjoyed this video, please do not hesitate to subscribe, hit the notification bell for more uploads, and also do not hesitate to comment and leave me your thoughts about this video. I'm Tracy Ricks Foster. Until next time, This is your soul to soul connection. Have a great day.